它有一个这个猫是选择了这里，他们说选择这个超市作为我们可以等着。少看看他的脸，他睡了。
Yeah, it's quite a bit fresh this morning, isn't it? It's actually a bit colder out by the airport here. Yeah, that white stuff up on the hills there, that's not painted on. It's 7 degrees Celsius in Queenstown, but it will be a bit colder out here, so just take a little bit of time for the air conditioning to sort itself out with the heating unit. Can get a little, windows can fog up a little bit, but they will stay clear. It's pretty good, this machine. Good old 1105. 440 will be going good. Now we're just across the Queenstown River. From this midpoint of the lake, we follow the river very briefly. Nice bit of colour there with the willow trees starting to turn, and the Queenstown River flow into another large river, the Mafel or the Clutha River, which will eventually flow out into the Pacific Ocean off the east coast, just south of the city of Dunedin. And as the river flows east, we're going to head south. It's a great view from the top there. Yeah, it's not a walk up there. There's a lot of people have found out it's a climb. You always want to have a climbing rope up there. It's quite exposed near the summit. New Zealand dairy sector, it's very well organised. There's a that prevailing wind is coming from the northwest, so that means we're in for a bit of weather to Milford today. Quite clear and calm in Queenstown, but as we come to the southwest, there's definitely a bit of weather in the mix today. But before we get up into the mountains, into the weather, we'll have a break here in town now. So if you do come down to the lake for a look, it's So you get quite different weather here than what you get in Queenstown. There's a lot of mountainous terrain between Milford Sound and Queenstown, so much different weather. And just got the weather systems that are rolling in off the Tasman Sea. Yeah, there's a bit in it. You always get quite strong wind that will precede rain and probably a bit of snow. I doubt we'll get snow during the day, but at night when things cool down. Looking over to the western shoreline of the lake, there's a lot of vegetation, a lot of forest grows in this area. It's a very high rainfall area, so quite a contrast to Lake Waikatipu, much less vegetation, much more open landscape. And into Milford Sound this afternoon. So I got the profile. So and from here we'll climb away from the lake and start to climb up into the mountains. The Milford Track from the head of the lake. The national park includes the rugged southwest coastline, over 130 miles, so 240 odd kilometres, which also includes the inlets that we describe as fjords. Fjord is a Norwegian word or name for a glacial carved landscape flooded by the sea. So that's where the name Fjordland comes from, Norwegian in origin. And the fjords we individually name as sounds. Milford Sound is the northern of the northernmost fjord along the coast of the 14. And from where the Tasman Sea in the west floods the fjords, the mountains rise up from sea level and more spectacular than those in Milford Sound. On your cruise this afternoon, you'll cruise down the length of the fjord right out into the Tasman Sea. And beside you, you'll have mountains that rise up over a mile, over 2,000 metres straight up sea level. It's an impressive awe-inspiring landscape. And depending on the sea conditions, you'll punch out into the Tasman Sea. So if you look hard enough to the west, you might see Australia. And what you will see with the weather, some incredible waterfalls. These sheer cliff faces, huge overhangs, towering mountains. And yeah, Milford's definitely in the zone. A northwesterly weather system.
What could possibly go wrong?
You see we're not alone today. Lots of Chinese tour groups. Oh, we're swinging here. It's not a bad view. The weather's
I'll just look out the best ones. Thank you so much. Which is what? Is that flax? Yeah. Oh, is it? Yeah, probably. Yeah. And look at the little brand.
And as we reach the valley floor, we start to climb and just even looking at the river itself, just a moderate gradient. That water gets aerated, so brilliant white. Colour of your Christmas cake icing or your wedding cake. Yeah, like I said earlier, if you're going to be in the rain in New Zealand, it's often quite hard to avoid it, but there's no better, more spectacular place to visit than through the mountains to Milford. There's a bit of snows that go over on the right there on the sheer face of Talbot. This is where you want to be daylight today. So I've driven through here before when there's been a cutting through avalanche debris, so about 5 metres above each side of the coach. It's hard to believe on a day like today, but this face on the left, you look up and there's a big overhang and there's a huge snowfield back in behind there, very high mountain. So you can get a lot of avalanches on this road. There's 66 mapped pathways, which you can see the road crossed by avalanches. No avalanches in the forecast today. And through the concrete portals, we reach the 3/4 mile, 1.2 kilometre Homer tunnel. This passage was blasted through this rock. Took 4 years to initially create a passage. Very hard rock makes up the Fiordland Mountains. It's igneous rock, crystalline granite speckled gneiss for the most part. Although the mountains look solid, the rock itself is quite fractured, and you'll see through the ceiling of the tunnel it's lined in places. There's quite a lot of water rushing down the tunnel. There's a major lining here. That's quite reassuring at this midpoint. Just realise the mountains are quite fractured when you realise it's about a mile of mountain directly above us. Without the Homer tunnel, there'd be no road access to Milford. So important passage and a great legacy of those who worked on the road to create a route through the mountains. Makes it easy to get into Milford. Well, not always easy, but there is a route. So never a dull day at the office into Milford. So you can start counting from here. Oh, look up to the left here, look at that snow's let go. See it coming down? See that? And it's going to be good to watch. On the left there, see that? It's quite a torrent going down there. You see how discoloured the water is here? So the the snow's letting go. See, in the winter, spring, we can't stop here. They won't let us stop here. But they've got signs out, so we will stop here. It's pretty cool here. Yeah, I'll intimidate my way in here. gravel and rock coming down. Feeds snow and water. So you can, in a bit of a cleanse, you get some pretty solid debris, rock come down off these mountains. Heavy rain. Worried about that, I wouldn't get out of bed, would I? In the morning I'd put the tinfoil hat on, stay in bed. Recommend you download the app and watch the Milford Road Experience under the covers of your bed. That's nothing like being in amongst the mountains. There's plenty of ways to get into Milford, but big is definitely better. You want to be in a big coach like this rather than those little vans. As soon as someone gets wet, air conditioning units overwhelmed, waste of time. It's a big vehicle like this. Get outside, get back inside, and still have a good look. Warm and comfortable. Another incredible cascade waterfall. Now this is proper rain. Yeah, that rain will get you wet. This river, this big catchment here. So you see that? You can see how trees get washed down. So when we come back across this bridge, the water level will be higher. Have a look at the rocks up to the right there, and be surprised how much that river comes up. And straight ahead you've got the sheer down range. It's a mile, 1800 metres to the top of the range, which you can clearly.
As we are cancelling the cruise, if you have come on a bus today, we do ask that you go back to your bus driver. They have already been notified of our cancellation.
As you can see, got the lights. That's the direction of Milford. That's where we were today, beyond those mountains and many more, right over to Thunderous West Coast today. So, bit of weather.
I was very excited when they delivered tracking the room. Yeah. If we do. I will get that. Then reload. Reload 3 She's like.
Just saying busy they leave it. You've got a lot of food. Yeah. But I do need it this next week. It's kind of nice to have like things moving.